Did you see yesterday the Tory MPs wearing poppies, every single last one of them, showing their respect by laughing and cheering at the news that serving soldiers were going to lose £2,000 in tax credits? They should be ashamed of themselves. David Cameron was actually completely ignoring. He was ignoring the moment when Jeremy Corbyn was reading that bit out. Cameron was looking down, pretending to look at his notes. You know what? He was they were shouting and heckling. They were shouting and heckling when Jeremy Corbyn was talking about, look at your policies, look at your heinous, despicable. And then when he asked him about the NHS and the possibility of another crisis this winter, Cameron completely lost the plot. He started shouting at him, your advisors are Stalinists, they're Trotskyists, they're communists. It's like, your advice, he's talking about the NHS, he's talking about your policies, and you're shouting out a soundbite for the newspapers tomorrow like a joke. Trotsky, and what does that even mean? He's completely oblivious that Andy Coulson, his advisor, is in bloody jail for hacking the telephones of dead children's parents. Listening as stricken tears. What kind of complete monster? And another advisor, what's his name? Patrick Rock, is awaiting trial over accessing child abuse images. What is David Cameron even doing? What is he even thinking about? You know, straight after Cameron came Theresa May saying that they've already accessed every single telephone record in the last 10 years. And a QC, he said, well, that's bloody democratic. How can you not even tell us? You know, as her snooper charter includes every single person's personal web browser. You know, every single part of that browsing history. You know, Edward Snowden summed that up. He said, that's your complete private life. You know, we're in the digital era. This is actually accessing your thoughts. This is your complete private life. You know, Cameron is about to welcome General Sisi of Egypt, a man, a dictator who overthrew an elected government in massacred people. Thousands were killed in one incident. Sisi killed 1,000 people, including a Sky News cameraman. You know, and Cameron, he's locked up thousands, Sisi, and Cameron's welcoming him. As long as with communists from China and Netanyahu and the Saudis. Look at his mates. Jeremy Corbyn said David Cameron and the Tories, they have complete contempt for human and democratic rights. It just, you know, they don't even want any human rights. You know, this came out as part of the HMRC, George Osborne tax evasion thing. You know, despite being handed 3,600 British people who had hid money in Switzerland, HMRC and George Osborne, guess how many prosecutions? They were given, I think, 3,600 of British people, UK citizens, that had been hiding money in Switzerland. How many's been prosecuted? Go on, guess. Have a guess. One. You know, this is the deficit swindle. This is the billions and billions for millionaires. You know, this is the heartache for millions. While David Cameron is ignoring, while the Tories are laughing about a soldier. How is a soldier? How are they paid so little that they need tax credits? Can you even imagine that? But they are, and they depend on them, and they're laughing about it. While they let off, while they give corporation tax, next year it's going to be worth £8 billion in tax relief to millionaires, to CEOs, to bosses. Capital gains tax, another freebie, more billions. The inheritance tax threshold up $1 million. Swiss bank tax evasion deals. Shares for rights, which we talked about this week. Shares for rights. A tax avoidance deal. Meanwhile, George Osborne, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, the man who's coming in with the tax credits, it's not even that this epitomises everything. It's not even enough that they cut corporation tax on £200 million. Osborne and Little, George Osborne's family business, he's the shareholder. On 200 million, they paid no corporation tax. That is the context for austerity. That is context for the deficit. That is context for tax credit cuts. That they made so much, they still didn't even want to pay. Yet they paid their directors millions upon millions of pounds. How's that fair when they're going to cut $4.5 billion from tax credits? How's that fair? The sick and the disabled having their employment support allowance cut by 30%. They're laughing and they're mocking. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. They should be ashamed of themselves. These PFIs. George Osborne's doing this PF2. Which is his version of what the Labour did, which was these massive corrupt deals. One of them is a company called Carillion, who signed David Cameron's, thing pre-election. Like Carillion, they bought a company. They bought a PFI deal for 12 million. And what they done? Do you know what they done? They sold it on for 31 million. That's a markup of 160%. They just been given 7 schools. There's another company. Is it the West Midlands Metropolitan Hospital? This is how they're going to work towards the surplus. Is PFIs and PF2s. This is a bankrupt, corrupt government that is laughing, that is mocking. Vulnerable people, but soldiers. People that they sit there with their poppies on. Where's their respect? They have no respect. Not for anybody.